What's up, Tejas? I'm here today with Roger Igo, and he is the owner of the Belltower on 34th. He's also an author. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So thanks, Roger, for letting us come to your beautiful place today.
Sure.
We have an amazing
Welcome.
view of the waterfall back here, which, you know, if y'all want to have an event here, that can be one of the spots, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know a little bit more about you and how you got started. I think a lot of people that live in the Houston area, they kind of pass by here and it's like a hidden oasis that they're like, what is that? So today is the day they get to learn about you and what this is.
So we are the leading location hosting weddings and special events in the #1 market.
Wow. So how did you get started though? Like, I mean, were you, well, actually, I know we had a discussion about this already. Like, so
I'm interested in psychology, and
Yes.
I read a book about it.
You're interested in psychology, and I remember you told me that you had a job as a bill collector, and you used that psychology knowledge that you got from this book to help you become really successful. And then, so like, I guess, tell me the story of how you ended up, you know, going from that to here.
Oh gosh.
In a nutshell.
Oh gosh.
Because also it's in the book too,
It
right?
is, it
So
is.
don't tell everybody all the secrets because you're gonna want them to read it. So just in a nutshell.
I was in a band, and I got to where I wanted to be in life and thought everything I'd ever set out to do had come true. And when I got to the top of the mountain, I realized I wasn't the right person anymore. And so I kind of started over. And so I got a job as a bill collector, and I started reading some books and self-improvement, and I found this book on psychology. And I learned how to use psychology to influence people, and I quickly learned that I was, just by using the kung fu in this psychology book, became a very successful bill collector.
Wow.
And so that's when I learned I could only fit $13,000 in one pants pocket at a time. And so you really can't fit more than $13,000 unless they're clown pants. And so I started setting my own hours, and I said, I just want to work when I want to, and you can just pay me commission only, and I don't need this base pay or hourly pay thing. And they agreed because I was doing so well and just really killing it more than anybody they'd ever seen. And so I was bored between my shifts because I could set my own hours, and so a family friend let me come hang around their office, and he offered he said, I'll pay you for every lot you find. And so I went, and kind of using some of the same kung fu tactics and some common sense, got some city records in their calendar and planning department, and started finding lots from residents who didn't want to pay for the city. It's a long story, but the city didn't want they were moving the sewer lines from the city of Bel Air from the back of the property to the front of the property, and each property owner had to pay for the last connection, and fixed income people didn't want that. So they just started answering my postcards, and so I found I was just finding properties. And so instead of paying me for finding lots, I just put it on my account, pay me later, and which he did. Well, I was around this builder's office, and pretty soon they got a little too busy, and so I was handed a set of plans, and he said, well, just go build it. And really it was just kind of like starting off, and then usually the next guy would say, well, before I can come, you need to finish this part. And so I kind of learned how to build really from the different workers. Taught me how to build. So 4807 Elm Street was the first spec house that I built as a project manager in the late 90s in Bel Air, Texas. But I learned, hey, I've been here for 6 months or 9 months, and I've had to deal with the lady. This is after building a bunch of houses, spec homes and custom houses. And that same amount of time, this realtor just pulled up. I've seen her with a buyer for like a couple of weeks, and knowing realtors make 3% or 6%, thought 2 weeks, giant Mercedes, smells nice, in the air conditioning, and I've been here for 9 months, and she probably made the same amount or more in 2 weeks. At the time I had no idea. In 2 weeks, what I probably didn't make in the whole year doing all of my projects put together. So I got my real estate license soon after that, and then realized they have to split their money with a broker. I became a broker, and I just got tired of dealing with the lady on these custom houses and started doing light, I was like buying houses and fixing them up and selling them, and started doing light commercial, and I realized no commercial guy, they all said, oh, I used to do residential, but no residential guy said, oh, I used to do commercial. So I felt like that was gonna be the progression, so I started doing light commercial projects, and I had an opportunity, a family friend had a wedding business that his lease was coming to an end, and so he asked his buddy, my dad, my stepdad, hey, why don't we ask your son to bid on this project? 'Cause when my lease is over, I want to have a new place to move into. And so that was this place, it had a different name in those days. Well, I wound up getting the job, and the project was near completion when there was Hurricane Ike, and there was Bernie Madoff, and there was CNN, and there was the Brides of Harris County, and then there was scandal, and so I got really more or less caught up in all of those issues, and I, as one of the victims, like the brides who had lost all their money to this business owner, and through a windy legal road, was able to acquire it, and so my wife and I now operate it. And in 2013, we actually bought our investors out, and it's just been the two of us since then. So wow. That's kind of the short version.
The short version of the long story and the longer stories in the book, right?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot, and some other things. But you can read the book to find out about.
You will read the book.
Our ties to the inventor of the frozen margarita.
Oh, wow. And the book, some of the proceeds go to, or all of the proceeds go to the
Alzheimer's Foundation.
That's awesome. So what about like the different services that you offer here? Like obviously weddings are a huge thing. I'm sure that you have other events here as well. Like what kind of events do you have, and what makes y'all special compared to other venues?
Yeah, so we do all kinds of events, anniversaries, birthday parties, corporate product rollouts, galas, awards, ceremonies, auctions, fundraisers, weddings, holiday parties, memorial services. I mean, just about any kind of event where people get together.
And then what makes y'all unique?
Well, everybody that's in the business and venue owners all say, and I'll say it about us too, we're a beautiful place, we have delicious food, and we have award-winning service. But we all say that. All 150 plus wedding venues in Houston say that, and we say that too. We're unique in a few different ways. One is, it's a different look. So if we've had multiple family members, repeat customers here. It might be, I think one time we had twin sisters. They chose one room on one, room combination. The next sister chose a different room combination. So you can really get a different look. But they come here because we handle it, we make it easy. There's an online portal where you can manage payments, check your floor plan, make make appointments, your bridal portrait if you have one, schedule your tasting, communicate with your coordinator or your representative, all from within the Customer Hub portal. Save all of your vendors. We send reminders. It's just, there's a lot of back end and automation and communication. We call it the Customer Hub portal. And so we utilize that. You can access that on your phone. We just are a very good resource, probably more than any other place in town in terms of our vendor community or different countdown lists, or it's just a very well-oiled machine, and we were able to make it very easy for clients. I guess the short version of all of this is it's custom events made easy.
Yeah.
So we make it easy.
Yeah, I like that. And then I think also that's a really great thing for someone like me, like just the thought of planning a large event is like stressful for me. Like I'm like if I ever got married, I would be like, somebody do it for me because I don't even care. Like just show me the colors and like, you know, ask me if I want this or this. Like that's all I want. Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that sets us apart from the other places.
Yeah. And so the other thing that I was thinking of that sets you apart is like your location, because it seems like you're kind of in like a Tuscan villa or something, but you're like in the middle of Houston in the city, and this place where you're like, it just seems like it's kind of out of place, you know, like you're in a different world when you come onto the property. So
you're right. You know, it's almost like it's a place stuck in time.
Yeah.
And actually the history of the Belltower is that this property has a very special place in the history of Texas. It's part of patent number 1, which is William P. Morton. He was settler number 1, where the property was signed over from Mexico to Baron de Bastrop and Stephen F. Austin. They were signing property over from Mexico. And so patent number 1 was William P. Morton. He got a league and a half. The 1 league is now Richmond, Texas, and the half league was right here, the north neighbor of Stephen F. Austin's mom and dad. Because his dad had died of pneumonia, and the mom's northern neighbor was the half a league, which is where we are now. We're the largest remaining piece of the patent number 1 that's yet undivided for this section that was granted as a patent from Mexico to the Texans.
So, and that's in the book?
That's in the book.
Yeah. That's so cool. So you're gonna be learning some Texas history then. So my question is, I have like a couple of questions. One, how many events have you had here on one evening or one day? Because there's a lot of different spaces, so I guess it just depends on the size, but what's the most events you've had?
So the most events we've ever had in one day is 9. Okay. And I think it was, we've had a lot of events, but 10-10-10 was a busy day here. And so I don't think we've ever attempted to do that many before. And I'll tell you, we didn't set out to do that many, but the clients were willing to, I guess, go with the flow on that day, because we really don't want to do more than 3 or 4 at a time. Mm-hmm. And so we could do 3 or 4 in the morning and then 3 or 4 in the evening. Mm-hmm. And so on that day, we kind of had one in there.
One little straggler over there, like, ooh.
Kind of in between.
And how many people do you have on your team here?
So it's I would say kind of seasonal. By early January, we may have as many as 130. Wow. But then that tapers off through the year. Students, a lot of our staff, they're students, they go back to college, and they work here during the holidays and during the summer.
Yeah.
And so our roster, it will ebb and flow between 80 and 130. But because the holiday season is so heavy, we might find ourselves over 100 in early January. It's not all full-time people. There's a lot of them, most of them are part-time.
Yeah. And so I was able to meet your daughter, and I know she is going to school for psychology, right?
She is minoring in psychology.
Okay, yeah. She is. And so I feel like maybe she's like a chip off, gold block.
Maybe, we'll see. Business and some psychology is her minor.
Yeah. So is she going to be joining the family business when she's done?
I tell her not to. I tell her I hope she goes and takes over the world. I hope she does something else.
Yeah.
This is an amazing business, but you gotta love it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's anyone I know right now that likes it as much as I do.
Yeah. Well, not yet. Maybe they're watching right now.
Maybe.
We're coming for you. So, what about like joining organizations? Like, I know that you have a history of being a part of organizations, professional organizations. Do you feel that that's important to starting your own business and maybe gaining clientele?
I do think it was helpful in the early days as a startup and trying to learn the ropes. I knew nothing about the events business. Well, I shouldn't say that because I did bands.
Yeah.
And so I was from that world. But for doing weddings and some of the different vendors and subcontractors, I didn't know them. And so it was helpful to be a part of the organizations in those early days to kind of get a feel of who I really jive with and who I like, and if there's mutual respect there, and so that was helpful to sort of learn, who the good ones are and who the ones that are serious about it. And I think being in an organization helps to hone your craft, and it helps you to learn and hone your craft and network and build your brand. So I do recommend associations and memberships for up-and-coming businesses and people who, or even if it's an established business, but if your job is as a marketing person or a brand manager, what a great way to get involved, and what a great way to help keep the business's name out there. It's just me as the business owner, not doing that anymore.
Yeah. You passed that baton to someone else.
Yeah, well, no, I guess I really haven't, but maybe I could.
You should. Maybe you should. Give them somebody else's email. So, I feel like you have a really great attitude. You're looking at me crazy, so maybe you don't. You're like, I do? No, but I just get like good vibes from you. But like, I know that, starting a business, and especially going into business, like a business that you do not have experience in coming into, how do you like keep a good attitude, getting started, and maybe like trying to overcome those obstacles when you're first getting started?
I don't know. It's just keeping your eye on the ball. Like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to, in the early days especially, we're on a shoestring budget. This is kind of a Hail Mary. This has to work. There's no failure is not an option. And so that is really, you don't have time to really worry. I saw, I have this little calendar with daily sayings, and the one from yesterday is, worrying is just praying for stuff you don't want. And so it was like, don't worry. And so maybe if you don't worry, you don't have time to have a bad attitude. You just keep your eye on the ball and continue to try to improve your business. And I think as long as you have a purpose in mind, and you live out your purpose and know this is what I'm supposed to do and this is why we're here, then there's no reason to have a bad attitude.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You give me the vibes that you have always had that like hustler mentality, like that you're just like, okay, I see this is my goal and this is what it's going to take to get there, and whatever I got to do to get there, if it's legal, I'll do it. And that's the vibe that I definitely get from you and your story, especially like with the music business, and then the realtor. You're like, oh, okay, like this is how I need to make money, and this is what I got to do to get there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I used to go in people's attics and help duct tape their ducts together to stop the leaks from coming out of their air conditioner leaks, or paint address numbers on curbs for the neighborhood, and wash cars and pull weeds and mow lawns, and go door to door selling homemade fudge, door to door to the neighbors' kids and stuff. I mean, it was just everything I could do just to try to have money to go play video games at the mall.
Yeah, because you've been working since you were like 6, right? Yeah. Right. I saw that in the book. So, yeah. And then, what would you say is the secret to having a really successful event?
There's a couple of little pointers. One is there's the 5 Ps. Previous preparation prevents poor performance. Is one of them. So you really, pre-planning is really kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we pride ourselves, and maybe I should put this in our marketing, but we are #1 in pre-planning on the planet.
Wow, that's a lot of P's. They're #1 in pre-planning on the planet.
We are.
Wow.
We are, and so pre-planning is key. I think if you prepare, and you always, and with the clients, under promise and over deliver, under promise and over deliver, under promise and over deliver. So set expectations low, and it'll always be easy to have an awesome party because you did way more than they ever thought you would.
Yeah.
So to the extent that it's possible, under promise, over deliver. Pre-planning is super important. Another thing is, to the extent the budget will allow, if there's a budget, try to have something for everyone at the event. So if you know you're gonna have kids, this is not real, I mean, this is a thing. If you're gonna have kids there, have something for kids. If you're gonna have soccer players there, have something for soccer players. If you're gonna have kids and soccer players, have something for both. If you're gonna have old people or young people or clowns or business people or alcoholics or sober people, or if one of them is a magician, if you know that they really, really like Matchbox cars, whatever, try to get detailed information about all of the guests as you can. And if you could somehow incorporate those into the event, if you can have something for everybody, that would be good. And I would say use a descending report based on, you would prioritize based on the guest list. Mm-hmm. The guest of honor, you absolutely need to have something for the guest of honor, or multiple things, all the way down the guest list to like extras and fill-ins that we invited yesterday.
Yeah.
So that would be a little nugget.
Okay.
If you can.
All right. Yeah. So we can't know all your secrets. That's for the next book that you write.
Maybe. Maybe. I do have another book coming out. It's called The Perfect Event.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Do those?
I don't have the release date yet.
Do the profits go to?
Yeah, I will donate the profits to something. I'm not sure what yet.
So what's your connection with the Alzheimer's Association?
Well, at the Belltower, you know, our goal is to deliver excellent events no one will ever forget. And so we feel like whether you are the guest, the client, the coordinator, the vendors, the employees, anybody that is in the sandbox of this event or that event or all of the events, our goal is to deliver excellent events that no one will ever forget. And the problem is Alzheimer's. Because when you get old, you forget. Mm-hmm. So we decided that would be a good charity. And also, my wife's has family members who have gone through Alzheimer's, and it's not a fun thing.
No.
And so we felt like it was a good fit for what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I love that. So next we're gonna do the Texas Trio. You had a little warm up of this already, so you kind of know what to do.
Okay.
So go ahead and choose your choose your first one.
Okay. I better know the answer.
Yeah, you better. You know all this Texas history.
Okay. Let's see. What states are larger than Texas? Well, I think Alaska is larger than Texas.
Yes.
And I think if you're thinking geographically or if you're thinking population-wise, New York has more population.
Oh, are they more popular? And California, I think.
California. Also another state that's larger than Texas, it's the state of mind.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, because what did you? Okay, yeah, I knew it. Yes, I totally knew it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Hot sauce. How hot do you go? I mean, habanero sauce is pretty good. I don't know, like the flame levels or what is the measurement for hot sauce?
I don't know.
Like
yeah.
I'm not doing ghost peppers.
Yeah,
or,
no.
I mean, just regular salsa is all I need.
Like you don't want to start sweating.
I don't need that. I just like the spice that makes my wine taste better. Like, or my alcohol, my margaritas taste better with a little bit of spice.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's.
Okay, and then your last one.
Okay. What's your favorite song about Texas?
What's your favorite song about Texas?
Well, we go to the hill country in the summertime, and both my kids grew up campers. My son is going to be a counselor at Camp La Junta this summer, and I've been to the Texas hill country a lot, and I tell you what, the stars at night are big and bright.
They are.
Deep in the heart
They
of Texas.
really are. Over there in the hill country, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, so that rings true for me, and that's my favorite song about Texas.
But thank you so much for interviewing with us.
Oh, sure, thank you.
Having us come back. And then also make sure that you check out Roger's book. You're gonna wanna buy it because it goes to a good cause, but also it has some really great Texas history in it. So, and then you can learn more about Roger, because I know he gave you these little teasers. And then make sure that you check out his book that's coming out later. So, yeah, we'll let y'all know. So thanks again, Roger.
Well, thank you.
And thanks all. Bye.
Bye.
What's up, Tejas? Good morning. It's National Waffle Iron Day. I didn't even know that was a day, but anyway, so I know if you're from Texas, you know that we have the best waffle irons. They are in the shape of Texas. Here's a Texas iron waffle maker. I think this is the only person that makes them here in the world. So anyway, they're based out of Texas. I had to check because I was like, it would be weird if they were like made in California or something, but
or China.
Texas. Actually, they're manufactured in China, but the company's from Texas, San Antonio. And so anyway, Jenny put me in the kitchen again, as if that's where I belong. I definitely do not, because I mess up pretty much everything except tacos.
So why you talk to me crazy when I said, do you know how to make a waffle?
Well, because I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Like you just put the mix in the thing and then you close it and then it like turns on or something like a light and then you just pull it out, right?
Yeah.
Do I gotta do it on top?
Yes.
It looks like it's burning. Oh,
Yes.
this is fun. Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all a story.
And don't put too much. Okay, go ahead and tell us the story. So say that over again.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story while I'm making this. One time, at band camp, no, I'm just kidding. One time, it was Thanksgiving, and we had leftover stuffing, and I was like, oh, hey, I'm gonna put the stuffing in the waffle maker and make like a stuffing waffle. So my dad was all about it, because me and my dad were like the same, we're twins. So I put the stuffing in the waffle maker, and I was like, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be a savory waffle, because I do not like sweet. I usually, when I eat my waffles, I just put a lot of butter and no like syrup. So I don't like syrup on my waffles. And I was like, this is gonna be a great savory waffle. And my plan was I was gonna make 2 waffles out of my stuffing, and then I was gonna make a turkey sandwich using those 2 stuffing waffles as my bread. Yeah, it did not work at all. But you know what? Now that I'm realizing it, I didn't do this. And it was just getting stuck. And I could not, like, I made my mom clean it because, like, I didn't make her. My mom was like, oh, Mija, do you need me to clean this? I was like, yes, Mom, please. Because it was just, like, a mess. And if any of y'all have never used the spray on the waffles, like on this waffle machine, they, like, really stick bad. And then it's, like, a hassle to clean it. I'd rather just throw it away. But that's
You'd rather throw away the whole waffle maker?
Yes.
Wow.
Or sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Baller.
I mean,
Oh my
what's
God.
up, Tejas, and all the
Oh,
sponsorships.
yeah.
You know, we just make so much money. So, if you're watching it and you want to sponsor, we are still taking sponsors. But yeah, let's just say it was a fail. But now that I'm thinking about it, because of Jenny, I'm gonna use this like spray stuff for the next stuffing waffle that I made. All right, so the light went off. That means it's ready. Jenny yelled at me because I put too much. Oh my God, you guys, look how beautiful my waffle is. Even though I put a little bit too much, it's fine. Oh, and it comes out like really easy. Okay, look at this. Oh my gosh. And it's in the shape of Texas. I don't know if y'all saw that episode that we did with Blue Buffalo Mercantile, but we did an episode with Blue Buffalo Mercantile, and we were talking about, where's she from, like South Dakota or something? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
It's some obscure state.
That's a square.
That is a square. And so I had asked her something about like, oh, is there anything with the shape of your state? And I was thinking on my way over here to Jenny's house this morning, wouldn't it be funny if there was like a waffle maker in the shape of that state? And I'm like, well, there is, because all waffles are pretty much square. So yeah. Anyway, Texas is lucky that we have a really cool shape, because who else can, like, I guess like maybe Vegas or California. That would be a really long waffle though. But anyway.
Oh my God.
I digress. So here's my waffle, guys. I can cook, and Jenny taught me a new thing. Y'all should use it too. Make sure that you use the spray. It is vital. Because if you don't want your mom to have to clean this for you.
Oh my God, your mom.
Because my mom loves me. But yeah. So let us know in the comments, do you have a waffle iron? But also, like, do you think that waffles and pancakes are kind of the same? Because we were having that discussion earlier, and I feel like they kind of are, except waffles are in the shape of a pancake. I mean, pancakes are in the shape of a waffle. Yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway, let us know in the comments, A, do you have a waffle maker? And is it in the shape of Texas? And then B, do you think that waffles and pancakes are pretty much the same? Okay, bye.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Till next time, that's all, y'all.